Cha! G'day, champion. Hey, when salespeople, when we're talking, communicating with our customers, the first thing that we're talking to is the client's brain, right? And we think that our neocortex, our processing plant, we think that our neocortex is communicating directly with the neocortex of the buyer. But that's not exactly how it works. And it's interesting from a sales perspective to understand the thought process, to understand how we humans are wired. So I've cut this little excerpt out of one of my recent facilitations, which explains exactly how the sales brain works and the obstacles and landmines that you need to be aware of when you're pitching, persuading, influencing, and selling. Enjoy.
Everything that we're talking about today involves the brain and how we're wired, because that's how we communicate with people. And if you understand from a sales perspective a little bit about how the brain works, how we're wired, it's really going to help how you communicate with and take your sales process, not only today, not only next month, but next year and the years that follow, because everything comes back to how we listen and the information that we take in. Because most would assume when we're talking with someone that our prefrontal cortex, the smart part, the CEO of our brain, that we're communicating with the smart part, the CEO of the brain of everybody else's. But that's actually not the case. When we're communicating with and it's kind of like, we kind of think it's like, okay, if I'm communicating with Sophia, like my prefrontal cortex, straight to Sophia's, information's in, and it's maintained there like I keep wanting to say fax machine, but you guys, some of you wouldn't even know what a fax is, like a PDF file, right? A direct replica. It doesn't actually work like that. When you are communicating with your prefrontal cortex, with a customer, or anyone that you're talking to, what you're saying is being received by a part of your client's brain that's 5 million years old and nowhere near as smart. It's called the reptilian brain or the croc brain. When we're exposed to a new environment, a new situation, a new message, we all, humans, assess the situation with their reptilian brain. That's designed to, do I fight it? Do I run from it? Do I eat it? Or do I mate with it? That's what our reptilian brain does. And when you consider back in the days of the caveman, a caveman didn't just wake up like we do now. Stretch his arms, bolt out of bed, right? What's for breakfast? As the caveman woke up, he would have been listening. Was there anything unusual? As he got out from under the furs, under his bed, he would have been on alert. As he rolled the rock away from his entrance and he walked outside, all his senses, was danger lurking? Was there smoke in the air that was going to cause a fire? Was there a storm cloud that was going to cause a torrent of rain? Was there another clan lying in wait? Was there a saber-toothed tiger? Was there anything requiring him to flee or fight? And as he walked tentatively outside and the sun beat down on his back, he relaxed. And then a twig snapped behind him. Was it lunch? Or was he about to be lunch? Now, today we don't have saber-toothed tigers to deal with. When we wake up, it's usually the alarm clock that's scared the living suitcase out of us, right? But today, the croc brain still controls our actions. Just think of how you react when this happens. The phone goes, and it's an incoming call, and you don't know who it is. Who's this calling? Should I answer it? You do answer it, and it's a voice and a person you've never heard of before, asking if you've got 5 minutes. 5 minutes to do what? What am I setting myself up for? Why are they calling? I don't know them. You either hang up, flight, or you tell them to go away, fight. You do, and now you feel safe again. And this is the croc brain reflex that we all deal with today. I work with businesses who have SDRs, sales development representatives, who just make phone calls every day. People, you, me, people in general, are only picking up the phone on average 23 to 25% of the time. 75% of the time these days, the call is going unanswered. Back when I was one of the first with a mobile phone, every call, oh, who's this? And you'd answer it, right? Because they're used so much. And this is a real issue, and I do it. I screen my calls. If it's not a number that I know, I'll let it go straight through to message bank. If there's no message or someone doesn't text me, I just forget about it. And then I put that number on my do not disturb list. It's just, I do the same as everybody else. But this is a classic case of fight or flight. So how do we get through the fight or flight? How do we get past the croc brain when we're doing that initial outreach? Well, we need to be interesting, intriguing, compelling, or different. We need that, we need that kind of, Tim the Tall Man Taylor, if you remember Home Improvement. But that type of a reaction will get us through the croc brain. That's the croc brain relaxing. And now we're going to feel a little bit safe again. And now we're going to listen to your message. Or are we? Because there's one more brain we've got to get through yet. Now, welcome to the mammalian brain. The mammalian or the monkey brain. So intriguing, compelling is different, has got us to the mammalian brain. Now the mammalian brain is going, great. So why should I listen to you? Should I trust you? Have you got more status in this? Do you know more about what I'm asking for than I do? So it's an adventure. Intriguing. Now why should I talk to you? And this is key to what we were talking about, Dina, in around how will someone want to actually work with you? Well, it comes down to the reptilian and the mammalian brain working in concert. So the customer goes, Dina, right. And we'll layer that on later on. But this is for everybody. Because if no matter what you're selling, if you can't create intrigue and if you can't be seen as someone that has high status, your sales process is pretty much over Red Rover. Those are the two secret sources. Because once you can do those two things, now you're being listened to, now you're in the neocortex, now you're in the processing part of the brain.